Welcome to GeoBuzz, your source for the buzz in the geospatial, insurance, construction, and AI industries. I'm Roman, and Adeline is out sick this week, unfortunately. That's never fun. But we still have a lot to talk about this week. We'll be looking at August hurricane history, the rollout of 5G, the impact of rising sea levels, again, the future of air traffic control, and adjusting the location of the pin and dashboard when making a property request. Now let's get started. Before we get started, we have one quick plug for Geomni because we won not one, not two, but 3 Telly Awards. Yeah, awesome, right? But what are Telly Awards? Let me tell you. The Telly Awards was founded in 1979 to honor excellence in local, regional, and cable television commercials, and now includes non-broadcast video and television programming. And more recently, the rise of digital videos like web series, VR, 360, and beyond. The Telly Awards annually showcases the best work created within television and across video for all screens, receiving over 12,000 entries from all 50 states and 5 continents. Telly Award winners represent work from some of the most respected advertising agencies, television stations, production companies, and publishers from around the world. To watch Geomni's award-winning video, click the link in the description below, or click the icon in the top right of this video. All right, now we can start. Well, for the second year in a row, the Atlantic hurricane season came early. Subtropical storm Andrea and Hurricane Barry both reached the US in July. PCS reported that Hurricane Barry caused over $25 million in insured losses. Like we mentioned in a previous episode, the forecast for hurricanes this year is a near average season, with 4 average storms and 2 major ones expected. PCS also reported that over the past 10 years, during the month of August, we've designated 23 hurricanes that have led to 2.6 million claims and $31.3 billion paid out on insured losses. But this is just over the past 10 years. Hurricane Andrew in 1992 caused $15.5 billion in insured losses, and Hurricane Katrina in 2005 caused a whopping $41.1 billion in insured losses. Let's hope this month doesn't wrap up to be anything like that. So, you might have heard, but 5G is going to be a pretty big deal. Basically, it's the ultimate Internet of Things, where everything is connected with little to no lag time. Companies developing 5G have realized that a full and effective rollout actually requires a lot of geospatial data. Connections to 5G sensors can be blocked by the simplest of things. Even your hand could potentially block the signal. I'm not sure what that means for holding your phone in your hand, but anyways, 5G companies are turning to businesses that specialize in geospatial data to figure out the best place to put these sensors and avoid obstructions. Geomni UK has been a big help across the pond. They've been providing geospatial data to 5G telecom companies to help them know the best location for their sensors. Even though 5G is developing quickly, there are still a lot of bugs to work out. It'll be exciting to see how this technology evolves as it rolls out within the next few years. Rising sea levels are already causing high tide flooding across many U.S. coastal cities. High tide flooding is just what it sounds like when low-lying areas get flooded during high tide. For a lot of coastal cities, this can happen a few times a year, but that number continues to rise. By 2030, projections estimate high tide flooding at 7 to 15 days, and by 2050, that number is expected to rise anywhere from 25 to 75 days. That's almost a third of the year. Can you imagine having to deal with flooding in the streets, or even all the way up to your house for 75 days a year? Last week, we talked about building coastal barriers to keep back rising sea levels that may be needed much sooner than later. The future of air traffic control in a drone-occupied world may be closer than we realize. A branch of Google called Wing LLC released an app designed to help coordinate drone flights and more safely share airspace with manned aircraft. This app is called Open Sky and is being tested in Australia right now. One of the setbacks of bringing drones into national airspace is the difficulty of monitoring and communicating between manned and unmanned aircraft. That issue hasn't been resolved, but apps like Open Sky are working on it. Open Sky works a lot like other drone apps where you plan your flight and the app lets you know if the area is restricted or not. There's still a ways to go, but steps are being made in the right direction. We've received some questions about how to pinpoint a specific location and dashboard if it looks a little off on the map. Let's take a look at that in today's tech tip. So you'll log into Geomni dashboard, and then you'll click Start New Order. You'll enter in your desired location, and you'll see this red pin here. And if that red pin happens to look off, then you can go ahead and move it around. Let's zoom in real quick. So you'll just click, you can drag and drop this pin wherever you want in the house. In those rare cases where the pin is off the house entirely, you can click, drag and drop that pin right back onto that house. And there you can verify that that's actually the property you want. And then you click Update Address from Pin Location. And then it's done. You've updated that pin and you're ready to proceed with your order. And that does it for this week. Thanks for joining us. And hopefully next week we'll have Addie back on the show. But remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel so you get notified whenever we post a new video. Also, make sure to follow us on social media so you can keep up with all the latest and greatest in tech. And tell all your friends what all the buzz is about. See what I did there? Until next time, I'm Roman. Stay fly, digital world.